So this week's episode of Steins Gate Zero, this was definitely a calm before the storm episode, meaning that things were peaceful, things were simple, things were cheerful and fun, but obviously you knew things were going to get bad, and like I thought, it was going to start getting bad at the end of the episode. Now these episodes are interesting because in any other series, or I would say most series, these are the episodes I absolutely detest. I just don't like them more times than not, but in Steins Gate they work to its advantage because they don't abuse these types of episodes. In the original series, there was a few times where it was more cheerful, more fun, but it was setting up for things to get bad. And Steins Gate Zero has now had 2, maybe 3, I think it's only been 2 episodes where things were just fun, nothing was that gloomy, and it works to its advantage because if things are always just gloomy, things suck, things are just depressing, it can wear down on the viewer and make you grow numb to the pain, whereas Steins Gate does like to give you those moments to breathe. And even if you may not enjoy the more fan service or the more kind of like just random comedy moments, it still lets the viewer breathe. So when it does grow more dark and gloomy, it does land for you more, even if you don't like these types of episodes. So I am glad that they're not abusing these episodes and they're sprinkling them in when necessary. And I like how the episode ended. Now there's 2 big aspects that I appreciate with this episode. The first being the theme of kind of the rivalry and kind of respect, but also the envy people can have, especially in the workplace. Now, Maho is an interesting character. I would actually say she's probably my favorite new character of Steins Gate. I think her character would be very easy to write in a way that's not likable, but also doesn't have depth, whereas Steins Gate Zero went the opposite route. She's very likable, and she definitely already has depth for me, and we don't even know that much about her. But this episode really hammers into the viewer that she has a lot of respect for Kurisu. She loved Kurisu. Obviously, this wasn't a rivalry where hated her coworker, she was so pissed that she couldn't be as good, but it definitely strikes me as she wished she could have maybe been as good as Kurisu. Kurisu was just in a league of her own, but she didn't let that envy go to her head. I mean, the fact that she tells Moika in this episode, you can't constantly compare yourself to others, you are you and you are unique and special. And I think that's something that she believes in herself. Like, even if her own research may not have went as crazy and as in-depth as Kurisu, it strikes me as she wanted to be like Kurisu, but she accepted that she was her own person. I think that makes her character much more interesting than just having a colleague either just totally respect Kurisu, want to be her, and emulate her, or just detest that she was better than herself. A lot of anime and just a lot of stories in general would go that direction, so I appreciate, at least for right now, it seems like Maho is a unique person. She respected what Kurisu was, she loved Kurisu as a person, as a friend, but she also admired her and wanted to be something special in a way like her. And I think that was actually a really interesting moment and a really interesting theme that was present in a very kind of cheerful, and you could even say more of a slice of life episode. I think it was actually very important, but also how they ended the episode, it was almost like a date-like scene, but obviously Okabe doesn't look at Maho, at least in the anime form. Obviously we know there's a Maho route in the visual novel, so there probably was a relationship at some point, but it was an interesting little direction because they go to the building where Kurisu dies, and I like how it very much sets it up like, is Okabe going to drop the information about why he knows so much about Kurisu? Because Maho sees like there was something more than just meeting at a seminar, like a lifelong knowledge of Kurisu, but there's no way he could have known her that long. So I think it was interesting how Maho is kind of coming to the realization that there is more to Okabe and Kurisu's relationship than meets the eye, but there's no way that she could just say, oh yeah, you time traveled and you lived so many countless lives with her in a short month of a time span. I like how she is coming to the realization things are more complicated, but she doesn't just clue into exactly what it is, and Okabe almost drops the information, and it's just interesting. Like, I'm interested to see how long it would take before she does know the full truth behind it. But I think the whole Kurisu's laptop is an interesting plot point. It was pretty early in the series that it was kind of foreshadowed that Maho had her laptop. It was pretty early on in the series. But I like how everything was kind of presented with it, because this is scary shit for Okabe. This is, you have Pandora's box, you can't open that. If that information gets out there, this is what causes World War III. This is the arms race of who can make the time traveling machine first. You can't let this see the public, and you're giving it to someone who's researching it. If the wrong person has it, shit's going bad, and you know things are about to get bad. So I like how they directed it. Like, Steins Gate's directing has always been interesting because when it is more simple, it's directed in a simple way. But when Okabe's mind is being shattered or pain is being just shot through his body, they directed in a way to really match that, and I think they did an excellent job setting up next week's episode, and I'm very interested to see where Pandora's box is going to go. And then when you have the more kind of fun stuff, I thought the whole Sergeant Clean thing was actually a pretty fun moment in the episode, seeing the messy apartment, seeing just the professor, and just everything in between. Like, there was a lot of really fun moments in this episode, and I thought the whole Sergeant Clean, even though it was pretty, like, you could take it out of the episode and the episode would have been fine without it, it was still a very fun moment, and there was a lot of just little fun moments sprinkled throughout, but I did like how they balanced it, where having the theme of the whole rivalry and also respecting that you are your own unique person in the beginning, and then ending it with such a big and dramatic moment, it helped the episode feel more important than just a filler or stand-in episode, even though a lot of this content definitely could be thrown away and it wouldn't change the plot in any way, shape, or form. But like I said, these types of episodes are important for a series like Steins Gate, which is so bound and bent on shattering your mind, blowing your mind, and just having so many crazy twists and turns. It's fine for these types of episodes to exist as long as they don't abuse them, which currently they haven't in Steins Gate 0 or in the original series. But overall, this was a fun episode, not much more to say past that, but let me know what you're feeling. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Your favorite moment? Let me know down in that comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, and if you're new, also be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.